Everybody, it's the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Chad Silver and Lauren Coleman.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching us on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app. Lots of big news today. We're going to hop right on to it. Starting your 4 to 5, the 18-year-old charged in the murders of two teens is back in court today. Issiah Ross is accused of killing 14-year-old Lyric Woods and 18-year-old Devin Clark. Woods was from the Hillsboro area and Clark was an Alamance Burlington student.
This is a live look inside the courtroom right now as they are going through all of this process. At the time of the killings, Ross was 17, but the district attorney wanted him to be tried as an adult. He faces 2 counts of first-degree murder. This right here is just a bond hearing, but we are getting a lot of new information out of this.
Investigators haven't shared a motive in the killings. Woods and Clark were found shot to death on September 18th. Today we learned that Woods was shot 4 times in the back.
The 2 ATV riders discovered their bodies in a wooded area in Orange County. Law enforcement believe Ross left for Delaware the day after the murders. 2.5 weeks later, police in Delaware arrested and brought him back. Delaware police also charged 2 people there with harboring a fugitive for their role in helping Ross.
He made his first appearance in a juvenile court on October 15th before his case was transferred to Superior Court. On November 15th, the judge decided Ross would be held in a juvenile facility without bail. Since Woods and Clark were murdered, their families have held several memorials in their name. Both were laid to rest in 2022. Once we get an update from court, we will take you to Orange County for a live report.
Again, we do have a reporter in that courtroom this afternoon, and we will keep you posted on what develops.
New at 4, an update on the deadly I-109 crash in Davidson County. Today, Dennis Palmer sent us these pictures of his family who died in the crash last Friday. We're getting the first look at Brittany Carter and their 2 sons, Aiden and Lincoln Palmer. Dennis Palmer sent us this statement about his family, reading in part, "Brittany and the boys were my entire world. I'm a broken man today, knowing that I've lost their joy and laughter forever. The only thing holding me together right now is the support from my family, friends, co-workers, and community. I am so incredibly overwhelmed by your prayers, cards, kindness, and most generous offers of support. Without them, the grief would be unbearable. My family and I love the community and feel your arms wrapped around us. This week, our family will celebrate how they lived instead of mourning how they died. I ask the media to please respect our privacy while we say goodbye. In the meantime, I will turn my focus to advocate for the critical need for safety on our roads. I want change to happen so it prevents another family from experiencing the same bottomless grief that we do." Coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5, we hear more about the efforts to make Highway 109 safer.
Greensboro police have identified the suspect accused of murdering a Greensboro mother of 2. Police charged Vashawn Sigler with first-degree murder in the death of Natasha Walker. You'll remember police say someone shot Walker as she celebrated New Year's Eve. Police are now saying after Sigler shot her, someone hit him with a car. He's been in the hospital ever since. Police say the driver who hit him is cooperating with police. All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up today, 11 Yadkin County students are safe after a school bus crashed this morning. Police say a box truck collided with the bus, causing a chain reaction. The bus then hit a parked food truck, which then hit a building. Somehow no one was hurt in this ordeal. It's not clear whether anyone will be charged.
An important consumer alert concerning baby sleepers that have been linked to 100 infant deaths. Fisher-Price is again recalling more than 4.5 million rock and play sleepers, which were initially recalled in 2019 after reports of more than 30 deaths. Since then, about 70 additional deaths have been reported. Customers are urged to immediately stop using the sleeper and contact Fisher-Price for a refund.
For the first time in 15 years, the American Academy of Pediatrics has new guidelines on childhood obesity. They specify what doctors should offer to kids 12 and older if they're considered obese. It includes weight loss medication along with behavior and lifestyle treatment. For kids 13 and older with severe obesity, it recommends possible surgery.
Well, we look at the forecast and looks like we're going to get a little chilly as we head into the night tonight. Temperatures in the 50s for the most part today, pretty much what we were calling for, but 53 in Greensboro, 56 High Point. Winston-Salem, you show up at 55 degrees, Burlington 54, a string of double nickels there for Siler City, Asheboro as well. Cools off, of course, to the north, Martinsville 51, Galax 46, Mount Airy at 51 also. Making it down to 30 degrees tonight, scattered clouds, winds are going to be light, mostly out of the southwest. Tomorrow up to about 55 and partly cloudy skies again. Again, a southeasterly flow to our winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour, so pretty much a little bit above normal for this time of the year, not too bad, 4 or 5 degrees. You look at the cloud cover for now, we're in pretty good shape right now. That will change, though, as we head into, I think, probably the second half of the day tomorrow, and then we've got rain on the way for Thursday evening, overnight, and maybe into Friday as well as the next system comes by. Really the closest precipitation we see right now, it's off the coast, but a little bit to the north in parts of West Virginia, and that's about it. We're in pretty good shape in the short term because of that high pressure. So the big bubble of high pressure in control today. Notice clouds go on the increase. That's Wednesday at about 5:30. Now we'll take you into the overnight, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and then by Thursday evening, there's a chance of showers and maybe even an isolated storm or two, believe it or not, as we head into your Thursday night. That's a 60% chance of rain on Thursday with a high of 60. We go to 49 for a morning shower there on Friday. That's the high temperature that day. And then sunshine for your weekend, 45 and 50. And for MLK Day, we're at 52 degrees and partly cloudy skies.
Some more encouraging news related to Damar Hamlin. He is now listed in stable condition at a hospital in Buffalo. Doctors in Cincinnati, where he was initially treated, say he's been up and walking since Friday. Doctors in Buffalo say they need to do more testing to figure out what caused his cardiac arrest. You'll remember he collapsed on the field during a game last Monday night.
This past weekend, it was impossible to miss all of the tributes to Hamlin, from NFL athletes wearing shirts in support during warm-ups to fans holding "Pray for Hamlin" signs, and even NFL teams outlining the number 3 with blue or red in his honor. But all of that support may have been overshadowed by this celebration. On Sunday, people took to social media outraged by this celebration by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers outside linebacker Alex Highsmith participated in one after sacking Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. In Sunday's game, many said the celebration was poorly timed. Highsmith was apologetic when asked about the celebration and said he would never try to make light of such a serious situation. Well, the controversy, it doesn't stop with the Steelers today. EA Sports announced it would be removing the CPR touchdown celebration from Madden NFL 23 after Damar Hamlin's incident. The gaming company says the change will be made in its next update. I think in light of everything that's happened recently, this was a good choice to remove that celebration CPR move. I, for one, did not know that this was something that happened, but one of our producers earlier this morning was telling me this is something that the Steelers have done for some time, even well before Damar Hamlin had his incident on the field. But for someone like myself who doesn't watch sports as closely or watch every Steelers game, I was not aware of something like that. So I can imagine there's a lot of other people who felt the same way that I did. I was pretty shocked when I saw that.
Well, and I went back and I looked it up, and it was a thing with the Steelers, something they did. It's just bad timing.
Yeah.
Right? You're doing it too close to this event, not acceptable. It's just, I'm sure in hindsight, he's like, oh,
probably shouldn't have done that.
Right, yeah.
I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, obviously terrible timing. But I mean, you know, he seemed remorseful of it, so I'm hopeful that, you know, that will just kind of be taken out of their repertoire here moving forward.
Yeah, I don't think too many people are going to hold it against him now that we're learning more. Oh, this is something that they've been doing. But as I said, the world watched as this man almost lost his life on live television. It's probably best just to do away with that altogether.
Let's just retire that one. Yeah, probably a good idea. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
CES in Las Vegas just wrapped up, but not before introducing some new robots. Elise Preston gives us a look.
Today's robots can help ship packages, serve food at restaurants, and vacuum the carpet. Now there's one that will mow the yard and clear snow. The Yarbo is an autonomous robot that uses artificial intelligence to navigate a yard and avoid obstacles.
You tell it what the boundaries are of your yard, but it mostly uses its own sensors to know where to go and what not to hit.
Brian Cooley from CNET says robots can also assist farmers. John Deere already has self-driving tractors. Now sensors on a robotic attachment can differentiate between weeds and crops to deploy weed killers sparingly. And a new system called Exact Shot makes sure fertilizer is only used on the plants that need it.
They're able, they say, to reduce fertilizer use by 60% in the best case on a large farm.
From the farm to the hospital.
It's very nice to meet you.
The AO robot is designed to assist medical workers. It can respond to voice commands, carry up to 8 pounds, and uses an infrared camera to move through facilities on its own.
It can go and check on residents. It can do deliveries overnight and just work all night in the dark.
AO can also take pictures.
Hey Siri, take a selfie.
The 1 in a million robot dog.
And meet Doggy from WWII Toys. This robo-pup responds to petting and communicates through its tail. And each one is unique.
The personality could be sweet, it could be lazy, it could be protective, it could be active, etc. There's over 1 million different combinations of what you can get.
The Doggy sells for $80 and should be available in the summer.
Oh, so funny.
Chad's laughing because
cool.
I sat here going, don't let my daughter see that dog. But then he said, you just got a real
You
one.
got a real one. That's more fun, right?
I would love to have a robotic lawnmower. That would be awesome.
I
Do
bet you
all the
would.
work
Turn it
for
on,
you.
let it go.
Right.
That's not a bad thing.
And it's incredible what some of these people have come up with for farmers and being able to just farm the crops just with a robot. I mean, and then to fertilize the ground. And there was one where it said that it was able to decipher between weeds and crops.
Yes.
So it only sprayed the weed eater on the weeds and not the crops.
That sounds pretty great to
Amazing.
me. Do you all have any smart machines or any robots in your own home?
I am embarrassed of mine, okay? I bought this little robot called Vector.
Vector?
His name is Vector, and he's really just more of a companion.
Does he say
He
things
says
and-
hello, like he wakes up. He's kind of like
I love that.
a little pet, and he'll tell me the weather and
What is he shaped like?
I don't even know how to describe it. He's just like this big, kind of shaped like a robot.
Oh, okay,
Can
cool.
it move or does it stay
Yep,
stationary?
he moves around. He has a little toy that he can play with.
What?
That's funny. I want
So
to
instead
see
of a dog,
this.
you're like playing frisbee
I'll
with
bring
your
it in.
robot.
I'll bring it in. Yeah, he can fetch.
Image of you at home. No friends. Let me turn Vector on.
Single and alone again. Hi, Vector.
I gotta see this Vector guy.
I do too. I'm interested now. All right, we'll be back.
Few things spark the imagination like a good old treasure hunt, and a big one is happening overseas. People in the Netherlands have published an old map believed to reveal where German soldiers hid millions in riches.
It's pretty cool. The loot dates back to World War II. Tina Kraus has a story from London.
If X marks the spot, that sound means treasure hunter Jan Hinsen could be getting closer. He says, I'm quite tickled. I've been searching this area for 30 years and have found some nice Roman objects, but I never knew Nazi treasure was buried here. The Dutch National Archive revealed the news, posting a treasure map online that was kept hidden for 75 years under the Official Secrets Act. This archives official says the red crosses show where 4 boxes of treasure are buried. Millions of dollars worth of treasure. She says there are brooches, necklaces, silver and gold coins, rubies, diamonds, lots of valuables. Modern-day explorers are descending on the Dutch town, which was on the front line in World War II, hoping to uncover the booty German soldiers looted after a bank explosion in 1944. The town's mayor says it's all pretty fascinating, but he's a bit afraid. I just don't want people to start digging haphazardly, he says, or it will get out of hand. Hinsen is still on the hunt. He says, I think it's buried here, and I'm not the only one because I already see some big holes in the ground. More clues in a race for riches that may never be won. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
The Dutch got the map from a German soldier shortly after World War II and tried twice to find the treasure in 1947, but came up empty. This is going to be a disaster.
Yeah, it could be. And I was just thinking that, you know, because things get torn down and rebuilt, and especially in Europe and World War II, there's so much destruction. It could be under a building there. And if people get crazy enough.
They might be. She said there was rubies, gems, all types of stuff. I think it's so cool how something like this is bringing so many different people together. People all over, like, I want to go and figure this out. Have you all ever used one of these before? Because I haven't.
The metal detector, my mother used to have one, and she would tell when we go to the beach, she would walk the beach with that thing looking for like rings.
I laugh at those people.
You do? I see them too. Or you see it in cartoons a lot of the time.
It was a thing back in the day, but not so much now.
It would be really neat to pan for gold.
Yes, I've done that up in like near Boone and Blowing Rock.
Anything good?
No, you get like tiny little speck of something.
Only treasure hunt I've ever participated in is an Easter egg hunt for candy.
And what'd you find?
Candy, jelly beans.
Lots of candy.
So lots of treasures.
That's a good thing. All right, you don't want to be doing that tomorrow morning, I'll tell you that much. Too cold out there. Let's talk about our forecast with temperatures hovering right around 30, we think, for the overnight low tonight. And that means that that's what you'll get by tomorrow morning, right? That's when we hit our overnight lows. Temperatures right now in the 50s for pretty much everybody except for the highest elevations. Boone at 48, Galax at 45. We go to 56 in Siler City. Raleigh-Durham, too, at the airport there at RDU. It's 56 degrees. It's 53 here at PTI, and an even 50 in Reedsville. Look for those lows right around 30, just below the freezing mark. Normal high, upper 40s for us this time of the year. So that's a good 5 or 6 degrees above normal for tomorrow's high, and partly cloudy skies. Now, you may notice a few extra clouds, I think, as you head into a Wednesday evening for sure, definitely into Thursday, because we have some rain on the way. And possibly it's a chance, because it gets so warm on the east side of that front, that we might even have a thunderstorm or two with that. We're going to watch. For now, we'll just say rain and scattered storms, and we'll keep an eye out for that for you. Here it is. It's way back in the middle of the country. It'll get here eventually. One low off the coast there. That takes the rain with it we saw the other day. But now high pressure builds in. This is at about 5:30 on Wednesday, and you can see the high pressure still in control. But here comes the second low pressure system. This one starts to pick up a little strength, a little speed as it gets to us. That's Thursday morning. Now we go into Thursday afternoon and evening, and there's that chance of rain or storms across the area as we head in. That'll be overnight Thursday night and into Friday morning, by the way. 7-day forecast with 55, partly cloudy tomorrow. It'll be 60, a little windy with some rain Thursday night and Friday morning. It will clear out for your weekend, 45 and 50 with lots of sun.
Hey, for all you who set a New Year's resolution, is it still intact?
Good question. Taylor Maresca visited us YMCA, where she took a look at their brand new program helping people not only choose an attainable resolution, but helping them stick with it too.
When I first visited the gym behind me, it was absolutely packed. The gym I go to is packed. Apartment gyms are packed. Everyone is grinding their New Year's resolutions, and the YMCA is helping you make sure you stick to it.
The Healthy Habits program is setting up YMCA members for success.
People are struggling with how to hit goals, what lifestyle changes we're aiming at, especially people coming out of pandemic, trying to understand how to build immunity, how to feel better, feel stronger.
It takes 3 months to set a new habit. That's why the Healthy Habits program is 90 days. The program's helping people set attainable goals, something they can actually reach.
Some of ours are real simple, like people to drink the proper amount of water, get the proper amount of rest.
The program also imparts a really important piece to habit building: accountability.
A lot of times people come in at the same times of the day and they see the same people and they'll start holding each other accountable. You're part of something bigger. You're not doing it alone.
The program is for any person of any age in any season of their life. Joyce Waxman is 83 years old, but she is young at heart.
And Taylor, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Wow.
And she has a big goal.
My New Year's resolution is to live to be 100 and be very, very healthy. At 100.
We're asking for people to invest in themselves, invest in that, and then our staff are going to pour into them and give them the resources, the encouragement, the incentives that they need to be able to be successful in 23.
There are nearly 1,300 people signed up to take on the challenge this year, and Finney says it's something that they hope to continue doing year after year.
Oh my goodness, I did something like this recently with some of our coworkers here at the station. So starting last November all the way to the end of December, a lot of us said, I want to lose some weight, I want to be healthy, want to get, ready for next summer. So we all put in a $20 bill. And the goal was whoever went to the gym the most amount of times within that 2-month period got to take home the pot.
But tell them how you would verify with each other.
So we would take pictures of our Apple Watch, or if you didn't have an Apple Watch, take a picture of maybe the screen of the machine you used or whatever program you were using, like a dance program on television, or a selfie just to be like, I went to the gym today, worked out 44 minutes, burnt 300 calories. But it really kept all of us accountable. It was like a competition because you're like, I don't want to be in last place.
I'm glad I wasn't in on that. I would have gone to the gym once with 7 different outfits and taken them all and then just send them every Tuesday.
I would have just done something to make that $20 back. Right?
Like what?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Uber Eats, I'm not really
But it
sure.
was a good accountability
Who won?
thing. I did not win. So Monique's fiance actually won.
Oh.
He actually took up. He went like 20 more times than everybody else.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Wow.
All right, that's you and I have a ways to go, pal.
All right.
We've got to get there. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll see you in a few. everybody. Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Chad, Eric, and Lauren today.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching us on News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and we're also on the WFMY News 2 app.
Coming up this half hour, a teacher is using Post-it notes, just plain old Post-it notes, in a unique way, and it is inspiring other people. It's a story you don't want to miss.
I love a good Post-it note, but put this on a Post-it note. Think outside the box and continue to dream. That is the advice of a High Point couple who will be featured on the new HGTV show Down Home Fab. I caught up with them to find out more about this opportunity.
Kyle Hill and his wife Audrey love to work with their hands. The couple is the owner of Hill Built It Creations in High Point.
You guys pick out the colors, you pick out the type of wood, you pick out the dimensions, and we custom build it to your liking.
The two started their custom furniture and decor business just 7 years ago.
We were just talking one night and I said, just say we're older and you look back, what would be one thing that you would regret not learning? And he was like, I don't know, I kind of always thought woodworking was kind of cool. And mind you, he had never used a saw, nothing.
A few tools and pieces of wood later, the duo is living out one of their wildest dreams. In February, their work will be featured on an episode of HGTV's new show, Down Home Fab, a home build show that follows Teen Mom 2 star Chelsea Hauska and her husband Cole DeBoer as they help build and design homes in South Dakota.
This whole life that we're living right now started with a dream. And it started with us just going, is there any way that we could have our own business and start out? 7 years ago, if you would have told me, hey, you're going to be sitting down with TV crews and you're going to be talking about a TV show that you're on,
woodworking.
I would have called you a complete liar.
With the help of the film crew at their church, the Hills were able to film at their shop in High Point.
The producers emailed us a script to go off of, and we Skyped with Chelsea and Cole a couple of different times. They checked in on the progress of everything that we were building for this specific episode.
With faith in God at the center, the Hills say anything is possible.
Think outside the box. Get a dream and go every single day towards one step towards that dream.
Down Home Fab premieres this month, and the Hills say their episode will air on February 6th. I absolutely loved talking to them. Not only are they just so adorable and cute, but just such hard workers. They started this business on a whim 7 years ago. They said they went to a local garage sale, got some tools, got some pallets of wood, and just started building. And 7 years later, they're going to be featured on a TV show with some of their products.
The items you showed in the piece are beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I could
Stunning.
not get over the way some of that. One of them had the sliding barn door thing with like a looked like a wine cabinet or something. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and talk about like how does this launch your career after something like this?
I'm sure they're going to be called back to do more episodes. So I just want to kind of break down how this even came to be. So when they were first starting out, they were like, we want to get on social media so we can maybe get some partnerships with some people so we can get our names out there. One of the young ladies on Teen Mom had them do a collaboration and make some furniture for her home. So when this new HGTV show came out that stars one of the other Teen Moms, they told them about this couple, and so they got involved. So they kind of wanted to bring them in to be like the chip of their show and pretty much help them on all their different episodes. But they said, we have 2 kids, we run our own business, we can't just leave High Point and go to South Dakota for several months where this show is actually filmed. So they said, HGTV said, well, get an iPhone, film yourself in your shop and we'll make it work from there. So they're like, an iPhone, I don't know. So they got their church involved. Their church has a film crew, came out, helped them. So they were able to stay in High Point, able to keep their business running, and HGTV used that footage for the show, if that makes sense.
So what can happen here, I think, because when you start developing something like that and people love it, you can't mass produce it, right? It's just those two, right? So they're going to have to come up with designs and then have a furniture maker make it for them, put their signature on it. They can make a lot of money.
Well, they are well on their way. And again, February 6th is when their episode drops. I'll have all the details up on our website.
Nice.
Good luck to them. All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up today, there is a scam going around involving the North Carolina DMV. Scammers are claiming to be with DOT, sending emails encouraging victims to pay fines for driving violations. The state says the 2 agencies would never send customers an email about driving records, driving history, or notices to pay fines. If you get one of these emails, you should contact the agency directly.
Sheetz is lowering prices for diesel fuel for the rest of the month. Officials said diesel prices will be 50 cents less per gallon. That adds up to savings of roughly $10 for mid-sized trucks, $12 for full-size trucks, and $60 for semi-trailers to fill up an average-sized tank.
The Department of Justice is reviewing classified documents found at an office once used by President Biden. The records are from his time as vice president. Attorney General Merrick Garland has ordered an attorney to determine what's in those documents and how they arrived at the Penn Biden Center, which is a research institute set up after Biden left the vice presidency.
The White House is moving forward with a proposal that would lower student debt payments for millions of Americans now and in the future, offering a new route to repay federal loans under far more generous terms. President Joe Biden announced the repayment plan in August. If it's finalized, the plan would have lower monthly payments and an easier path to forgiveness, and a promise that unpaid interest will not be added to a borrower's loan balance.
You know, I stepped outside just now and really not all that bad. I don't know about you. Now, you may disagree with me on this one because I like chilly weather, not cold necessarily, but temperatures like this in the 50s, to me, this is perfect. Feels great. Light jacket, you'll be in good shape. Now, not so much tonight, right? That's technically tomorrow morning's temperature. When you step out, it'll be a little bit below freezing, right at 30 degrees, scattered clouds. Partly cloudy, though, for the rest of the day tomorrow, and look for that high temperature around 55 degrees. That's where we end things up. All right, outside now, you're going to see kind of a veil of clouds. It's hit or miss. We were sunny for the most part of the day, but now we're seeing a few extra clouds. More of that is on the way, we think, especially second half of the day tomorrow. But the approach of this second system, it's moving at a pretty good clip, but it won't get here until Thursday, we think. And really, it's probably a Thursday afternoon, overnight into Friday morning, but there's a chance of an isolated thunderstorm or two. You know, we had that chance not too long ago. It's kind of the same situation now. High pressure will be in control for tomorrow and maybe part of the day Wednesday early, but then, Thursday. But then once we get into that Thursday afternoon time period, that front will take over, and there's the rain and the storm activity. So 7-day forecast. Temperatures are not bad for the next couple. 55 tomorrow, 60 Thursday. Rain and storms Thursday afternoon and evening, and then a little rain Friday morning, and then we'll clear out. Cool down. 49 on Friday. Sunshine for your weekend. Sunny to partly cloudy. 45 on Saturday, 50 on Sunday, and MLK Day with a high of 52 and scattered clouds.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together like a classic combination. All right, this right here could be what organization sounds like to you, right? What do you call these little notes?
Post-it notes.
Sticky notes.
Sticky notes.
Yes, I would say Post-it notes.
Okay, Post-it notes, sticky notes. Depends on, I guess, probably where you're from, right? The Post-it note has been around since 1980. 1980, friends. The 3M scientists developed it kind of by accident. One of the scientists needed a bookmark that would stick on his music papers without damaging the papers. Now, since then, they're used for all kinds of things. What do you use your Post-it sticky notes for?
I use them a lot at work to write down phone numbers or maybe timestamps from my stories. Just different little notes here and there.
I know there's someone in management who has them all over his desk. I know you know him all over
He
his
writes
desk.
them in very small little
Yes.
writing, and they're they're just covered.
I use them a little
Michael
bit.
Radostich.
That's exactly right.
That's it.
I use them for a daily to-do list. Like I got to get everything off that list, either crossed off or moved to the next
So
day.
you have a daily sticky note.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So most Post-its are meant to be thrown away, right? Once you're done with the reminder, but not these.
These Post-its live their life on a high school English classroom wall, and then they're laminated. From inspirational messages to beautiful works of art, both current and former students are leaving their mark. Teacher Jennifer Doucette started it with an idea of kids being able to ask questions or talk about topics they wouldn't utter out loud.
So what became, however, is so much better. My eyes, grab onto a few notes when I look around the room, always. I love the words. I love the pictures. I'm not opposed to them coming in and feeling shocked and, not sure where to go, but then eventually finding kind of comfort in those notes.
She finds comfort in the note left for her. It says, "I hope you know you acted as a catalyst for me to smile again and fall back in love with life. Thank you."
And so I keep it next to me for kind of rough days, to remind myself that this is what I'm doing here.
That's
Man,
beautiful.
those Post-its.
I love that.
Those are some keepers right there.
Do you remember, so last year I did a story of a coffee shop in Mount Airy, and the lady who owned it, she lost her 3-year-old son with a medical condition, and she said he always was such a smile and a love for everybody. So she does Post-it notes. People come into the coffee shop and they'll pay for a latte that extra over than what they bought, and then they write down, one latte. They put it on the Post-it note, and they can write a little word of encouragement. And then if you're having a bad day and you don't have any money with you, people come in and they cash in one of those.
Oh, that's really
It's a great way to use Post-it notes. Same thing.
Similarly, in our newsroom, Julie Luck, after her cancer
yes.
journey, we put Post-it notes with words of encouragement all over her cubicle. She still has them up now, and I every once in a while I'll catch her just looking around reading.
I know, that's really cool. I love that. It's more than just a throwaway.
That's right.
All right, so this is what I want you to do, friends. I need you to go write someone a good note today. Go write someone a good note today. We'll be back.
You are great.
With an 8.
Well, you know, if you've ever looked at the night sky, maybe out in the country away from the lights of the city, you know how awe-inspiring that can be. It can make you feel very small, too. But thanks to our friends at the Greensboro Science Center and with some really high-tech equipment, you can get an educational, up-close experience with the stars. It's definitely what to see at the GSC. Out at this stuff because I had a telescope when I was a kid. Not one like this.
No, nor I.
No, yeah, explain this to me. How does this work?
Yeah, so we take our big telescope, roll it out the front door of the Science Center, and despite all the light pollution that's surrounding us, it's able to filter that out, and the sensitivity of the scope and that camera attached on the front of it will allow us to see deep space objects in detail. And we will give the iPad that controls it to a kid in the crowd and let them direct the telescope where we want it to go. Yeah, they just go nuts.
That's insane. All right, so then, and how do they see it? Because obviously,
right. So when we roll the telescope out, we put a big 4K 55-inch screen right beside it. Something you can't do with a Hubble or with a JWST.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And so the live feed from the video camera on the front of the scope is going into the screen, and the public is looking at the imagery while we're telling them all that they're seeing live in real time.
I mean, and if we look up here on the screen, these are actual images taken from this
telescope. This is what was being seen on the screen by the public. The Orion Nebula, a star-forming area, Horsehead Nebula, another star-forming region, and the Rosette Nebula, all three places where stars are born. And then, you know, stars end their lives. This is appropriately called the Witch's Broom Nebula. It's what's left from a big supernova explosion 10,000 years ago. This is the Dumbbell Nebula. It's what the sun is going to do in about 5 billion years at the end of its life. It'll let go all of the shell of gases that comprise it and look like this or like the Helix Nebula here. And then, you know, we can go even farther. These are like 5 to 10,000 light years away from us. We can go out 12 million light years to this galaxy, or we can go 25 million light years to this, or 30 to this.
The key is that the public is sitting here looking at live images of that.
And they are astounded. They cannot believe they're seeing in real time what they are. And you know, 10 years ago, had you told me that we'd be doing something like this, I would not have believed it. It would have been science fiction.
Thank you, Ron. We appreciate your time.
Oh, sure
Great
thing.
To see you. Yeah,
Our
this
pleasure.
Is phenomenal.
Ooh.
I want to do this because I didn't get to do it live. I saw the images like you did of previous events, but that thing, he literally controls it with an iPad, and you're looking at nebulas. And he said some of this is, you know, 10,000 light years away. It may have already happened and the explosion is over and done, but we're just now getting the light from that explosion. So we're seeing something that might have happened 1,000 years ago.
I don't believe any of that. Not for a second. There is no way that is real.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't know the emotions that it makes me feel. Like, we think of the problems in our lives and we're just nothing. We're nothing.
Yes, it's true.
It doesn't matter.
I think it's awesome we have this opportunity here in Greensboro. So if you're interested in doing something like this, do you have to set up like a time period to do it?
Yes.
Is it a part of the admission fee? How does that work?
No, it's a separate thing if I remember correctly about this, but you can go online and read about it, and then you need to call and get a reservation. Also, it's weather permitting, so if you book this and then it rains, they'll have to reschedule you, but because it is outside.
So is it only in the evening time?
Yes, it's at night when it's actually nighttime, and they take that. You're looking at live images of nebulas and star systems.
I love that.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't know what to say. It's just so
it's amazing.
wild.
It's what to see at GSC, people.
It would make for a cool date night, family night.
It would. My kids would love that for sure. All right, let's talk about our forecast, shall we? Because we've got some stuff coming up, at least a rain chance or two, right? We've got that out there. Let's start with the temperatures and where we are right now, because we're looking in the 50s, mostly low to mid 50s. Obviously, southern Piedmont warmer, so let's go down to Troy where it's 58 degrees, Pinehurst 57, beautiful country down there, 56 in Lexington, and 55 in Asheboro. In Greensboro, you're at 53 degrees, it's 50 in Reedsville. So we're all on the same page, basically. We'll get warmer, actually, too, as we head into the next couple of days. It's by Friday and into your weekend that it's back to reality. Remember, our normal high this time of the year. Should be in the upper 40s. So we're a little bit on the mild side for the last day or so and for the next couple of days. Here's a look at regional temperatures. Again, cloud cover coming in from the west with this next system that will move through and bring us some rain. So even down at the coastal sections is 58 for Wilmington, 62 in Columbia, 64 in Charleston. This hour by hour into the night tonight, we drop pretty quickly. I mean, we're down to the low 40s by 8 p.m. I think we go into the 30s by as early as 10 p.m. But again, that overnight low expected at about 30 even. So it will be a chilly start to your Wednesday morning. Just count on that for tomorrow morning. And then we'll get a little bit more mild as we head into the next couple of days for high temperatures. Cloud cover for the most part. You can't tell it on this, but we do have kind of the high level clouds starting to move in. That's ahead of the next system. So this is the next system that'll move through on Thursday. And we think that's going to bring rain for us Thursday afternoon, evening, possibly overnight and into early Friday morning before we clear it out by the time we head into Friday evening. Here's what it looks like on the surface chart. That's the low that already moved by that brought us rain the other day. But high pressure in control. We'll stop it here. This is Wednesday afternoon at about 5:30, so early evening here. Again, high pressure still there. Notice the cloud cover though. Now it's starting to push in. That's out ahead of the warm front and the cold front that's tied to that low pressure. It gets closer to us. This is Thursday morning, around 6 a.m.-ish. Clouds already fully in place. I don't think the rain really gets here until Thursday afternoon and definitely into the evening. As the front moves in, we will see high temperatures right around 60 on Thursday. So much more mild weather than what we normally see this time of the year. In fact, about 10 to 12 degrees above normal for us. So then as that front moves by, that brings a chance of maybe a thunderstorm on your Thursday evening. Keep that in mind. That's a 60% chance of that with a high temperature at 60. Then we'll cool it down. After some morning rain on Friday, we go with a high of 49. And we're seeing those highs go down to 45 and 50 for Saturday, Sunday. Lots of sunshine. Beautiful weekend, actually. It's just chilly. Overnight lows will be in the upper 20s, close to 30 for your weekend.
Thomasville police arrested 3 people for a shooting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The sense.
Hello, my mic is not in the right spot. Now it is. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Check, Carmen, can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We should say the amount they were.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Issiah Ross.
Hey, it's time for my 2 cents, and today I'm going to get on the soapbox a little bit. I saw something recently that worries me and kind of shocked me a little bit. It's from a website called whatstrending.com. They were talking about Indeed, the job search website, that they started a TikTok channel to attract what they say are Gen Z and millennial job searchers. It's a campaign, apparently that's a thing, called You Better Work Boss, which means you got to work to get me. And I thought that was kind of shocking for someone looking in the job market to go to the boss and say, you got to work for me. This campaign is based on data that on this website, and I'm quoting, they say, shows that this generation is redefining their work relationships and expects firms to work harder to attract and retain employees like themselves, right? Well, for me, this is all backwards. Can you imagine, for those of you that grew up at the time I did, if we'd gone into a place to get a job for the first time and said, you got to work for me, pal? Good luck in getting a job then. If our country has reversed this system, it will fail. I compare it to a beehive, like the company is the beehive. The queen bee sits in there, lays the eggs, right, top of the food chain. The worker bees go out and do their thing, bring the pollen and nectar back. It's all one big machine, right? And if the queen, per se, let's say, for example, were to go, well, let me go down here and make sure I can attract the right bees to our hive. That's not her job. And then she stops laying eggs and the hive or the company fails. You need everybody doing their part. Now, yes, you start out, you work really hard, you work your way up, you get more responsibility, your job's a little bit easier to swallow, and you make more money. And that's kind of the way corporate America and corporate Earth works. I think if we are saying this, that the employee, the brand new employee, comes in with an attitude and says, you gotta work for me, we gotta take a hard look at where we're headed as a society, and also how our business practices will succeed or fail in the future. But that's just my 2 cents, and that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
We are on top of breaking news in a double murder investigation. A Superior Court judge denied the bond for Issiah Ross. He's accused of killing 2 teenagers in Orange County, including a 17-year-old from the Triad.
Prosecutors called the killings an execution. The defense team shared the suspect's side of the story for the first time. They say it all started